Hi, this is Rachelle at Scrapcraftastic, and some time ago I was asked to create a template or show how to make an insert for a traveler's notebook that had an envelope on one side of the insert and a folder or pocket on the other side. So in this video I am going to attempt to do that. I may be able to create a template once I work out the details of this, but for now I'm just going to show how I would do it. I'm kind of have to feel my way through because I haven't done this before. I am using these papers from the Hello Darling stack from Die Cuts with a View. This is several years old. I'm kind of trying to finish this pad, but that is the paper that I'm using. I've somewhat sketched out what I want to do here just to kind of get things straight in my mind and get my measurements in order. Now with this, you're going to need multiple pieces of paper. So if you have a paper stack that has multiples of the same paper like these, then you probably would want to use that. Also, it would probably be a good idea to use double-sided papers and papers that aren't too heavy so that you don't add a lot of bulk to your traveler's notebook. So I am going to start with this. I guess I'm going to have this as my outside paper. So this would be like the back of my notebook, my insert. So I'm going to trim this down to 8 inches wide. I think that's what I determined because I'm going to need some tabs on the top and the bottom. The insert, I'm doing this for a B6, so it's 5 by 7. So the height of this is 7, and I need a tab on the top and a tab on the bottom, and I need the full 12 inches. So since that 7 is my height, I'm going to bring it up to 8. Hopefully I'm doing this right. And let's see, hold on, if I can use this piece instead. Is it big enough? Oh, I think it's already at 8 inches. So we might be good to go. Just a little slither came off. Okay, so this piece was already at 8 inches wide. So let's put this back for a moment. Just a moment. And then I'm going to, oh, I haven't used my scoreboard in so long. Where is it even at? Oh, it's right here. Okay. So then I want to score at, let's decide what's going to be the top and the bottom. So it's going to kind of fold like this as far as the outside. So I'm going to score, I'm going to flip this over and do it like this. So I'm going to score at 1/2 inch on this side. Let's put the 12-inch side at the top of the scoreboard. I'm going to score at 1/2 inch. Then I'm going to score at 5.5 inches. I'm going to score at 5 3/4 inches. If I can get my score tool. And then I'm going to score at 10 3/4. That does not give me much flap, but I'm going to do it anyway. 10 3/4. Oh, I scored it the wrong place. No, I didn't. 10 3/4. Okay, doesn't give me much to play with here. So I'm going to fold my scores, and I put a 1/4 inch in the middle in case this was going to wrap around something else. And I probably should have added a little length to it as well, but it would go a little something like this. So this would be the closure, but I think this is not big enough for a closure. Now, if I had not put this flap on the end, which I considered, That would have given the closure an additional half an inch rather, in length or width or however you want to look at it. But the thing is, I did not want the tabs on this pocket. I wanted that pocket to sit down on this. Okay, let's keep going. I'm probably going to have to make some minor changes. Okay, so with the short edge at the top, I'm going to score at 1/2 inch all the way down. And then I'm going to score at 7.5 inches all the way down. And then I think that's it for the scoreboard. So then I'm just going to fold these up. Alright. So because this is an envelope flap on this side where we have the piece that I feel like is going to be too short, I'm going to miter right where those two score lines meet and trim off this little square or rectangular area because we don't need it. Okay, so I'm going to do that on both sides, trim it off, and I'm coming like just inside of the score line, then mitering right there. Okay. Then, let's see, here in the center, I'm going to do the same miter up to where the score lines meet, where that 1/4 inch spine is that I put in. And the miter on both sides. Let's do a little bit more. And then I'm going to cut that out. So miter, miter, then cut it out. If I can get my scissors in there. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to cut this at an angle, just cut the corner off. So we got this flap on like that. Then I'm going to miter here, and then I'm going to cut this whole flap off because we don't need it. And you can do this on your paper trimmer if you don't want to freehand it. Okay, so I think that's everything that we chop off. So we cut, I guess I could have done all of that at one time. So we cut off this corner, this little piece in the spine, mitered this corner, partially mitered this corner, and cut the tab off of the top here. So this side is where our folder would go. These tabs are where our folder paper will sit. We can even add a pocket in the back. It's going to create bulk, but it can be done. And I think I will because I don't like that the paper's not double-sided. So let's go on and measure that out. I'm going to mark it with a pencil where I need to trim, and trim this piece out so we can have an extra pocket to tuck things in. Okay, so there's my mark. Okay. Let's see if that's gonna fit. So this would slide down in here like that. I do need to trim a little bit more off, I think. Yeah. Because I didn't account for the fold. So let's cut a little slither off because we need to account for the fold. just a slither. Let's see if that's enough to sit down in there. Yes, it is. Okay. Now, I don't know what direction this pinky paper is supposed to go in, but we're not going to worry about it. Now I'm going to use I got too much stuff floating around here. My Tim Holtz ruler to find the center. I could eyeball it, but I don't like to eyeball it because when I eyeball it, I don't get it in the right place. So I want to find the center of this, which should be at about 2.5. Yes. And mark it. Then I'm going to get one of my circle punches. This one's a pretty good size. And I think this 1.5 inch circle punch. I am going to put a little thumb hole here. I have some lines marked. I used a Sharpie to mark on there where I want to line paper up at to do a thumb punch or a thumb hole punch. So I'm lining it up with those lines and then the center of this little arrow here as best as I can. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I like to at least try. Okay. All right, so that way now we have a pocket up there that we can stick something in. Again, this is kind of creating a little bulk to make the pocket, but then we need to let's move this over. Make our cover for this, for the envelope, and our pocket. And I don't know how I want to do the pocket, but I think I'm just going to do like I don't know, some kind of shape. So let's do the pocket first. I need it to sit on there like this. Since it doesn't matter about the direction of the pattern, I'm going to turn it over so that I can see where I make my marks at. So I want to mark it right there. Then on this side, I want to mark it right here. Okay. So let's trim that out. And then on this side, this is the piece that I need. All right. So we got our pocket. Now we need to put this in. So, and I want it to come maybe to right here. I don't know how this is going to work. And then like to right here. So what I'm going to do is line up those two marks on the paper trimmer, if I can see them. So there's the top one right there. Here is my bottom one. Let's get them lined up. There we go. Trim that off. And I can probably do this a whole different way, but this is a prototype. I don't like that the spine area is going to be empty, but I could put a piece of washi down there. That would shore up the spine. But of course, I don't like doing things like that. I'm going to do that, but I may come back and change completely how this is done. probably need to put some glue stick on that. Make sure it sticks. Yeah. Okay. So I think we got that down. And I'm just going to trim it right there. Okay, now let's try this again. All right. So ordinarily, with the way I made the folders before, you did not need to glue the pocket down, but I think we're going to glue this down this time. I haven't used my glue in a long time. I hope it's still good. This is Barely Arts glue. Let's see. Stick my pen in the washi. So I am just going to go along the very edge. Okay. So I just ran a small bead of glue around that, leaving the top open. And I'm just going to place this in here like that. Make sure it's straight and glue it down. All right, now let's put the pocket on. I wish there was a way I could make this a little more sturdy since it is paper, but I don't think that's going to be possible. So I'm going to use double-sided tape here, maybe, if it's wide enough. Or if it's not too wide. This double-sided tape is from Joanne, the Miss Sparkle. I've had it for a while. I don't know if they still even sell that brand. I haven't been in Joanne in a little bit. And I don't remember seeing Miss Sparkle. So I'm just scoring down that tape or burnishing down that tape so it doesn't come up. I probably need to put a little teeny piece right here. Let's peel this up because I didn't get all the way to the edge. So let's get to the edge. Peel that up. Okay, so now I'm going to get our corner started, our corner pocket, and just line it up where it needs to sit on the page. Just bring this paper this way so I can just slide it out from under there. Okay, so there we go. Hopefully this is going to line up good. So that's what we have so far. Then I'm just going to take this tape off on this side. Just line it up. It's a little sticky on the edge. So I'm going to take, I think the tape was a little too wide. I have this rubber or glue remover here. Just run it down the side. Try to get some of that glue off. Or the tape. And you can also use a wet glue. I probably should use the wet glue because the tape is a little wide for what I was doing. But again, prototype. Alright. So I'm done with that. So that is, this is not stuck. I think I need to use a different glue. Let's try one more time with this glue. And maybe I didn't put enough. But we want our pocket to stick down, so let's put more. And try again. Also probably because I didn't give it time to dry before I'm fiddling with it. And it's trying to stick to washi tape. Burnish everything. Alright, so now we need to do our envelope. And it needs to be about a ½ inch wider than what we need. I don't like to come all the way up like this because it makes it hard to get in there. But I think in this instance, we don't have that much choice. We could come down a little bit. Should we come down a little bit? Or should we go all the way to the top? Then you're trying to get in there. I'm going to come down ½ inch. So that means I'm just going to cut this at 5 inches wide and hope for the best. Some of the things I measured, some of the things I just lined it up with where I wanted to place it. It just depends on what you're doing. So I'm going to cut this at 5. And score a 1/2 inch with the short side at the top. So like this, 1/2 inch. This is going to be the bottom of the envelope. I already see things that I would do differently. So this is going to sit here like so. And it's, I need to take some off of this. It's too tall. Let's cut off a slither. That's why I kind of like to put things up against what I'm using and measure that way, because let's turn it this way. It seems it's always slightly off. Okay. It has sealed down finally. Yeah. So I want to get this right at the fold, but not over the fold. And if you want, since these little tabs are up top, you could trim those off down to where the this part of the envelope is, but I'm going to leave them because even when you get regular envelopes that are made this way, you can see this on the envelope. So I'm just going to leave it. I want to go ahead and put a thumb punch in here. So let's find the center, which is probably 3.5-ish. 3.5-ish. Mark it and punch it. Always jumps out at me. Okay. So you can miter this tab as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and do it just a little bit. And I'm going to use wet glue because I know I'm going to have to position things. And now that I'm thinking about it, I probably should have put all the flaps on the top pieces. It's just, I don't know. I like it when the flap is on the bottom. But this one is not, it wouldn't allow me to do it that way, so I don't need to go all the way to the top because that's not going to be covered. Okay. So let's line this up with the fold, but on the side of the fold, not over it. And straighten this up. See, with the wet glue, you got time to adjust. Not a lot of time, but a little bit of time to adjust if you need to. Kind of worried about this more than anything because it's sitting on that washi tape back there. Okay. So how does that fold okay? Check on this fold. Seems okay. All right, so there is that. Now, to make a closure for this, I probably should have put something on there already, but I don't know. There's probably not room really for Velcro. Okay, so let's make sure everything is glued down well. This looks like it's lifting a little bit. Put a little more glue there. Make sure we didn't glue anything down on the inside. Just hold that down. So now, what do we have? You can slide something in there. Of course, it'd have to be small enough to fit. You can slide something in here, but we need to close a closure. That's what we were discussing. So we could do one of those banker type deals. I think I can get in there and do that. Let's try it. I haven't done that before. When I say that, it's kind of like this. And I probably should have done it first, but I didn't think of it. Let's see, I need this punch and a small punch. I'm going to use brads or eyelets. Can I get in there with an eyelet? So where's my notebook? Let's see how this fits before I get into the closure. Let's put it around. No, that string is pretty tight. So I got this string here that I can put it on. And I may come back and punch the little half circle on the spine area. But that's how it sits in there. Let's wrap it around because it looks kind of weird with the spine. So you could probably leave that off. I just want to give it some room to wrap around if I wanted to wrap it around something like this. So it has room and it sits over that booklet nicely. Hope I was in frame for some of that. So then we got the pocket over here. We got, well, the envelope over here, pocket over here. And of course, there is a better way to do this. It probably would even be nice if this could fold over onto that and hold it closed. But we won't get into all that. Okay. So that's the basics. However you decide to do your closure, you could even put a whole other flap on here. I think I'm gonna try the smaller hole, the smaller eyelet. So I'm gonna punch 2, give myself some room. Then I'm gonna take this one and line that punch up that I just made in the center, like that. And do the same on this one. Okay. I don't know, that doesn't stand out enough, but it does match. So I probably need 2 to make them a little more sturdy, you think? Glue them together. Let's do another one. Another set. Just glue these together. Make them a little sturdier. Let those dry. Find my centers. So we're at 3.5 on each side. So we're going to put it like right about here. And then like, I don't know, probably don't want to go down too far. Here. Instead of where I put that circle at. And then here. This is too far up. So it needs to go right there. Okay. Punch the hole right there. And then, is it gonna reach? It might not reach. Nope, it's not gonna reach. So, I should have thought of this before I put it together, but you know. Just a little hole, okay. Let's open this up. Can we get that in there? I'm just not sure that I'll be able to, let's set that right there. I'm not sure I'll be able to get an eyelet in there, set properly. Okay, glasses back on. So these are my eyelets. Let's see. And I know I have big ones, but I'm not sure I have little gold ones. Maybe I should have used the big ones. I always go for the small ones when I know I have a ton of big ones on hand. I need to look at the directions to see what to set it on. I have to do that every time. So I need a C4 because I have a 1/8 inch eyelet and a washer. So C4. Let's do this. Put this on here. This goes like this. Oop, I didn't put the washer on. Is it too late? No, it's not too late. It's not too late. That's usually the problematic part, is the washer. Getting it to sit on there just right. Why doesn't that look like it's in the center to me? And why is that smashed? So let's put this on. Put this in here. And then let's slide this envelope inside of this. I have it in the set position. I can just hold this washer and circle thing in the right place. And set it. Okay. There we go. I guess that's set good. Can't tell. Okay. So got those on there. This one has a little white edge showing, but it'll be okay. So now all I would need is the string to put on it to close it. So I'm going to do it around this one. Kind of tie myself a knot. Underneath there, good and tight, and trim off trim off the excess. Oh, don't want to cut that side. That was about to be a mess. Okay, so then I do like a figure 8. And then I think I'm gonna tie a knot on that so that the baker's twine does not come loose, because this isn't the best quality twine. And then trim off. Let's try that again. So we go figure 8. I can't believe it. This is the first time I've ever done one of these. Yay, it worked. Okay. All right. Okay, so let's pop this back in here. Even though this is not my aesthetic, I'm going to put it in so we can see what it looks like once again with the closures on it. Hopefully being in here will flatten those out. This is what it looks like from the top. This is what it looks like on the inside. You got your envelope on this side. I don't know about this, but yeah. And then your pocket over here. So you can put something in there. You can tuck stuff down in there. It's a little tight, but it can go down in there. So yeah, it turned out pretty cool. You can decorate this. Is there tape on there? Let's see. There's 6 smaller things down in there. You could put one of those clear pockets on here. Do quite a few things. with it. You can put pocket out here. You can decorate this. So tons of things you can do. Okay, that is it. I hope you enjoyed this. I know it's a little wonky, but that is how I kind of work through things. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that little gray bell so that you'll receive notification each time I upload a new video. Be sure to check the community tab and my stories for updates throughout the week. Also, check us out over at patreon.com/Scrapcraftastic for exclusive content and digital downloads. Visit my other channel, Journal Life's Journey, for craft videos and junk journals. You can find me across social media at Scrapcraftastic. Visit my website and shop at Scrapcraftastic.com. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them below. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.